What is up, my students? So today what we were talking about is actually a pretty easy topic, not gonna lie. We are going to be talking about similar figures and also scale drawings, okay? We are going to start with similar figures and then we are going to move from there. All right, similar figures. What are they? Very simple, all right? They are the same shape, but not the same size, all right? So we're looking at identical figures, all right? But they're not the same size. Also, whenever you line up those shapes right next to one another in the same orientation, so the same direction, all right? The corresponding angles are the same, okay? Now, the sides, whenever they're lined up in the same direction, the same orientation, those sides form what we know as a proportion. Okay, so what we talked about last week, we're talking about this week. It's going to be very simple. Okay, so we are just going to hop right into it. And honestly, if you guys understood proportions, this part is going to be very easy for you. Okay. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. The first one we are going to take a look at. All right, I'm telling you these are similar figures, but we need to figure out what this length is right there. So what do I need to do? I need to set up a proportion. How do I do that? To the best of my ability, because remember I am not an artist, I have the corresponding sides lined up with one another, okay? So, easiest way to do this, what you're going to do is your corresponding sides. Whatever is on top goes on top, and whatever is on the bottom, ooh, that's so rough. Oh, well, we're gonna roll with it. You know, you think it would have hit me by now that I cannot write this way, but I've done a lot of worse things in my life, so we are going to roll with this, okay? I am looking at the proportion of 20 over 12 equals x over 3. What do I need to do? It's very simple. I need to go ahead. Oh gosh, I'm starting this over. Right next to one another, okay? So the 20 and the x, they're corresponding sides, so those go next to each other. The 12 and the 3, those are corresponding sides. They go right next to one another. You see how I do that? It's that simple. And what we do from here is we solve for x. Now, this is what we did in the last video, okay? What we're going to do, we take our diagonals, our 20 times 3, and our x times 12, okay? We go ahead, we multiply. What is 20 times 3? 60, okay? So, I have 60 equals 12x, all right? I go ahead, divide both sides by 12. I'm going to get 5 equals x, okay? That means my side length up here is equal to 5. That's it. That is how I solve for similar figures, okay? I'm told these are similar. I need to find the side, okay? And how I do that, I set up a proportion and then I cross multiply, all right? And then divide with what is next to x, which was my 12. So 60 divided by 12 gives me 5, all right? That's our first example. We are going to move on to another example, all right? And I'm telling you that these two triangles right here are similar. They are similar, okay? I have them in the same orientation, which means that these angles are all the same and the sides form a proportion, okay? I need to set up that proportion and then solve it, okay? How do I do that? My x and my 9 aren't on the same corresponding line, okay? So I'm going to go ahead, put my x on top and put my 9 on top, all right? What I do next, I go ahead. My 1 corresponds with my x and my 3 corresponds with my 9, all right? Next step, what I need to do, I need to multiply along my diagonals. All right, 3x equals 9. Divide both sides by 3. I'm going to get x equals 3. All right, so my x up here is equal to 3. And that is how we do similar figures, okay? It's super simple, super easy, all right? That's literally all we're doing. And the ones I'm going to be giving you are in, for the most part, the same orientation, okay? Now, what happens if we are given figures that are not in the same orientation? That's going to take a little bit more thinking than this, okay? Are these in the same orientation? No, absolutely not, okay? But what I need to do, I need to figure out how to put them in the same orientation, okay? So, how they do this, okay? They are going to give you the sides that correspond to one another. So if I were to take this and redraw it, my 2 is going to go here, and my 3 is going to go there. All right? I just rotated my figure down to what it is down here, okay? I've rotated it. That is all we're doing. We're rotating it until our sides correspond, okay? I'm rotating it. Now my sides are corresponding. Now I can set up my proportion. I have x over 20 is equal to 3 over 2. I go ahead, cross multiply, and I'm going to get x equals 30. So my side length over here is going to be 30, okay? So, similar figures. What we've talked about today. We've talked about similar figures. They're the same shape. Their angles are the same. Their sides form a proportion, and we need to solve for that missing side, okay? I'm going to go ahead, put some more examples on your worksheet, okay? And then later on Tuesday night, I will post a key so you guys can take a look at it, and you guys can message me with any questions that you have, okay? Cool. Awesome. That is similar figures. That is honestly it. That is similar figures, okay? Super easy, super chill. All right. So we have talked about, what have we talked? Similar figures. We've talked about similar figures. Now we are moving on to scale drawings, okay? What are scale drawings, you may be asking? It's very simple. What they are is that we are given, an image of something. Our first example is going to be of a poorly drawn house, okay? And whenever we are scale drawing, we are either going to enlarge that image or minimize that image, okay? And how we do that is by a scale, okay? What is a scale? A scale is a ratio, okay? So, we are taking a look at this. I have my houses, okay? This house is 3 inches long, but I don't know how tall my actual house is, okay? And I know that 2 inches, okay, is 2 feet. Okay, so 2 inches is 2 feet. So that's my first proportion, 2 inches to 8 feet. First proportion, super easy. I need to figure out what the feet equals. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead, put down my 3 and my x, because I know that I'm given 3 inches, okay? I need to figure out how many feet 3 inches is, because I'm scaling it down by this ratio, 2 inches to 8 feet, okay? So, what I'm going to do, same thing I've been doing. I'm going to circle my diagonal, and I'm going to multiply. 3 times 8 gives me 24, and dividing that by 2, I'm going to get 12 feet. So, the height of this house is going to be 12 feet, okay? It's super simple. That is what we are doing. We are taking a look at this fish. I do not know the length of this fish. This fish length is unknown. But I know that this fish, drawn down to scale, is 1 inch, okay? And I'm telling you that my scale is going to be 1 inch. 1 inch equals 3 feet. Now this one's going to be pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to set up my 1 inch over 3 feet. And I know that this is 1 inch over x. I cross multiply. I'm going to get x equals 3, okay? It's the same process. What we're going to do is our scale drawing, okay, is going to be our first proportion, first part of the proportion. Our scale is going to be our first part of the proportion, okay? Our second part of the proportion is going to be taking the corresponding lengths, okay? Corresponding lengths. So 1 inch over here, question mark over here. That's how I'm going to set it up here, okay? I'm looking at this. I have faces of cats here, okay? My scale is 1 inch equals 3 feet. That's going to be the first part of my proportion. 1 inch to 3 feet, okay? Next part, I know that this is 2 inches over here. 2 inches. And I'm going to put that over x. Remember, corresponding sides go together, okay? And then I go ahead and I solve it like a proportion. I'm going to circle my diagonals, multiply 3 times 2, get 6, divide by 1, x equals 6. So this image is going to be 6 feet. Okay? I'm going to post a worksheet for that. I think it's going to be super simple. This was a very short video tutorial. The key things we need to take away from this. Doesn't matter if we're doing similar figures or scale drawings, all right? Our corresponding sides, okay? Those are what we're going to set up with our proportions, okay? So, this is the next image I'm taking a look at, okay? I have a person, I don't know how tall he is, but I made him smaller and I drew him to 3 inches, okay? I know that 1 inch equals 2 feet. This right here is going to be the first part of my proportion. 1 inch to 2 feet, okay? Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my 3 inches on top, making sure that my units are in the same place, and x feet go on the bottom. Whenever I cross multiply and divide, I'm going to get x equals 6 feet. It's all the same process. It's all the same idea, okay? It's super easy. I'm going to post some different examples on a worksheet with the steps, and you guys can go ahead and read through those and email me if you have any questions. But that's it. That's what we're working on. Super easy, super simple. All right? I know this video has not been as fun as my other videos, but hopefully, you know, I'll figure something out that we can do that would make this fun. All right? So, I'll talk to you guys later. Okay? Cool? Cool? All right. Bye, guys.